Hello, and thank you so much for having me today. I am very excited to be here and share some of my knowledge regarding Facebook and the ads that you target and the audience that you target. Today, since Diane is not here today, she called up and she asked if I would do a training, and I said absolutely. Although I wasn't sure what to do it on exactly because this is only my second week with the group and I wanted to be as relevant as possible to give you what you were hungry for. I had asked in the group a question and I got a few responses. Let's look here. What you guys were hungry for, what you wanted me to go over today. And target audience was number one. Ad reports was number two, and ad creative was number three. So since that was number one, that's what I wanted to cover today. And also, not only from there, I also saw that a lot of people within the Facebook feed were actually struggling to find their target audience and wasn't sure how to apply this to their Facebook ads. And one thing when I would go in and I would look that I would find that was similar across the board was that your relevancy score was super low. And I am going to pull up my PowerPoint and I'm going to go over the relevancy score just quickly. Ad relevancy is a number from 1 to 10. And I know in the group here, we'd like to see it above 5. I really like to see it at about 7, 5 or 6 or 7. And this number is really important to keep your eyes on because it helps you understand if your ad is relevant to your target audience. If the messaging and what you're putting in front of your audience is relevant to them. I'm going to pull up the next slide, which pretty much just gives you all of the details on what ad relevancy is. I copied and pasted this because this information is all over the web. It's the most basic form of information. So I just copied and pasted this, and you can look for it later too. It is a metric defined by Facebook that defines how much your audience resonates with your campaign. The score is based on how much positive or negative feedback Facebook anticipates your ad receiving after it's received its first 500 impressions. Pretty easy. The next thing is that I want to really go back a little bit. And I know many of you are in different stages in your business and in this course. But one of the fundamental, most important modules, I think, is definitely Module 1. This is so important to your entrepreneurial puzzle. Diane has done a great job of laying everything out and providing a great worksheet and some tools for you to use. So I'm going to pull up the worksheet. Here this is. All right. And it is so important that you spend time with this worksheet, that you don't rush it, that you kind of go with it. You go with the flow. You do your research. If it takes you a week, if it takes you a month, whatever it takes, spend the quality time with this and get this right. Without having this fundamental piece intact, you will never have effective Facebook ads. So I just want you to spend some time with it if you haven't in the past, or you're just not sure, or maybe it's someone that has had it before but now is wanting to grow their business. Things change. So this brand strategy worksheet can ebb and it can flow and it can change as well. And like I said, Diane did a great job of laying everything out and providing great tools for you to use. So use them. They're wonderful. Next, I want to go over back to the PowerPoint and kind of go back to the pain point. If you're experiencing frustration with your ads not converting and your relevancy score is now low, Odds are it could be a myriad of reasons that it's happening, but a lot of times it really is the target audience that your ads are falling in place of. Of course, it could also be that it's because you have issues with your creative, issues with your content, issues with your landing page. It can be a myriad of those things, but ultimately you want to make sure that these ads are targeted properly. So the question is, why isn't proper targeting a problem? Duh. It's because you're not putting your ads in front of the people who care about what you're offering. You're not touching on what their pain points are. Your message is absolutely irrelevant in their lives and what they're seeking. They're just going to scroll right over it. There's no need for you to even be in front on their scroll or on their feed, because what you're trying to connect with in their meaning network is not firing the right neurons in the brain. And ultimately, you're not going to have good click-through rate, which is CTR, click-through rate. In this program, I remember Diane saying that she liked to see a 1.5% or higher to throw before you throw some money at it. And in case you weren't aware, your CTR is simply calculated by dividing the number of clicks by the number of times your ad was shown on feeds. If you aren't targeting properly, then you won't have any clicks, and that CTR will be low, your relevancy score will be low, and you're going to be super bummed. And a lot of that comes with that you are not creating a disruptive environment. You have to remember that Facebook is a constantly moving environment. You need to somehow disrupt the mind of the Facebook scroller in their newsfeed. This is something in marketing that we call disruptive marketing or red tree marketing. And just like the picture shows, say that you're walking through a forest during a fall beautiful day, and all the trees around you are yellow and beautiful, but there is just one red tree. What are you going to notice in that forest of yellow trees? You're going to notice, or green trees, you're going to notice that beautiful red tree because it stuck out. It was different than the rest. So what are you going to do that you're going to stick out to those that are relevant to what your marketing message is, to get past them scrolling through, reading what their friends are doing, looking at pictures of what their family did over the weekend, or whatever they might be doing that is research related. Keep in mind that we have to keep a disruptive feel. Video is really, really popular right now in Facebook ads because it auto plays a lot of times unless you turn it off. It auto plays and it creates a disruption in what seamlessly is a static environment. Images, text, boom, something's moving. That's going to draw your eye. That disrupts their scrolling. They are now paying attention. I just wanted to bring a little tidbit towards that when you're thinking about the creative design of things and what you want to say when you are in front of your target audience. Now, when it comes to targeting blunders, as I like to call them, there's 3 targeting blunder groups. One is the first group includes people who make their targeting too narrow. This tends to happen if you really, really know what your niche is, but you have to think that maybe you're only getting in front of 300 people. That's not a vast amount of people. So you have dialed it down so much that you're just really not going to get any airtime. Unless you're really, really dialed in on your niche. And then in that case, that it kind of goes by the wayside. The second group includes people who make their targeting way too broad. And the third is kind of goes hand in hand with the second group. The third group is when your ad is in front of the wrong audience, which we were talking about earlier. If you're trying to market to nurses and the ad is irrelevant and it's for something like an apple orchard, that may not be of interest unless that nurse is into apples. So as you can see that there is some push and pull, but you have to make sure that you're in front of the right audience. And if you've done your homework, you've figured out who your ideal customer is and how you will hit on their pain and what you will do to help transform that pain point from an ouch to an ah. All right, so the next thing I wanted to go over is I wanted to show you some ads that resonate with me and repel me, as well as have been retargeted to me. These 3 ads were shown in my newsfeed this morning. Shailene Johnson, Frank Kern, and Kim Garst from Social Boom. Shailene is awesome. I've been following her for a really long time. I've done some fitness programs through her. She's just awesome. And her ad pops up. I am automatically, my meaning network is hit because one is Shailene and her ad popped out at me. Same thing that goes for Frank Kern. He's an alpha influencer. So anytime I see his name, I'll stop and I'll look because he's someone I always like to learn from. Your name may not be that alpha influencer yet, so you necessarily don't have that same star power, but you can build to that. And his ad, obviously, it resonates with me. The third one is the awesome Social Boom and Kim Garst. Now, why her ad touches on me is that she always has new relevant copy that touches to my passions, not necessarily a pain point, because it isn't a pain. I just have a thirst for knowledge. I want to continue to learn new things in this ever-changing social environment. What worked 2 months ago has probably changed, and there's something new, and I just want to learn it. I just want to know about it so that I can share it with my community and my tribe. So hers is how to download or how to use hashtags. Now, I know how to use hashtags, but maybe there's something that she has to offer that I don't know yet. So I'm going to learn from that, and that excites me, and I'm going to download it. I am notorious for downloading all kinds of freebies, like mostly PDFs of some sort, ebooks, things like that. That really gets me excited. Now, next, I'm going to show you the ones that are on my newsfeed that definitely repel me. They have nothing to do with anything that I'm into. The first one here is Adler University. It's something about nonprofit management. I have no desire right now in my life that I need that. I'm not sure why it's in my feed. Perhaps I was doing some research for a client. Your guess is mine, but this repels me and I would probably hide it and just scroll right over it. Yes, the picture of the kiddo is cute, but other than that, I have no desire really at this point in my life to research anything on nonprofit professional leaders, unless it's for a client. The next one is Casper. It's some type of betting company. I don't know why it's in my feed. The only thing that I can think is that Facebook knows that I recently bought a house. And because I recently bought a house, it's showing me things that maybe I need, like a new bed. But I'm perfectly happy with the bed that I have, and I'm not in the market for a new one. I'm good. The third one here had me totally confused. I don't know why in the world this one would be in my feed. It says, become a drug abuse counselor in Colorado in as little as 17 months. With credit, you may earn for a median salary of $53,610 a year. First off, the only thing that's right about this that speaks to me is that, yes, I'm in Colorado. I don't know any drug abusers that I know of, and I definitely don't want to counsel them. And I earn more than $53,000 a year, so I'm not sure why I would want to go back. That one absolutely repels me. I would probably hide it and, report it that I never want to see it again. So definitely this one, these 3, and there's others, just repel me. Their targeting is so way off. They might be in front of some other people, but with me, it was so off, and they're going to get negative points for that. The next one is Retargeted. Now, I had mentioned earlier that I bought a home. Well, during that process, I was researching getting solar energy put on the house. And I had landed on the Solar City website. And Solar City came up, and I obviously landed on one of their pages that put a cookie on in my cache. And then when I went back to Facebook, it pulled it up that now I'm receiving ads. And until I clear my cookies in my cache, this is probably still going to come up. And the good thing about that is that Solar City is staying in the forefront of my mind, and I will probably see them as a leader when I am ready to put the solar power back on. And they might be one of the places that I call to start getting quotes. But I will like their page so that I can follow information as it comes available, because I really am interested in doing some solar energy on my house. Now, on to the cool part and why we're here today, and that are tools for your keywords or tools for your figuring out your niche market. I know that Diane has talked about doing manual Google searches, doing Google alerts, and those are all great to kind of tap into what your competitors are doing and just get alerts on when new things come up that you're interested in or that a competitor is being announced over on Twitter. It's just when there are alerts. And previously I had said, the SEO. SEO is very tightly related to your social initiatives. So you need to know, as you're working through this, what your keywords are and what your SEO tactics are going to be, because they really do play together. And while your ads are different than that, you have to be thinking big picture when you're living in this big, crazy world of online businesses. Now, getting to the good part, I told you that I was going to share a super secret ninja trick, and here it is. It's called the Audience Insight Tool for Facebook. What is it, you might ask? I'll put this up for you too, but Audience Insights is an intelligent tool that allows you to discover demographic, behavioral, and social data on audiences before you ever target them with your ads. There is a ton of options, but even if you just provide the Audience Insights tool with only a little bit of information, you'll still get amazing amounts of value. I always want to say audio, but Audience Insights allows you to leverage Facebook's data to discover other pages that your target market is most likely to like. These are pages that you wouldn't have thought to target before, and I'll show you some of that next. And I want to stress that this is absolutely different than the fan page insights. So do not get them confused. Your fan page insights are totally different than audience insights. Now, I want to stress also, this is an amazing tool and is super clever, and you're going to be excited to learn and play with it, but it's not a magical recipe to your success. You absolutely have to apply everything you have learned in big visibility, big profits to leverage the power of Facebook ads. I am now going to go over to Facebook, and how you get to Audience Insights is you go to Ads Manager, you go to Tools, you go to Audience Insights. Here, 3 options come up. Everyone on Facebook, people connected to your page, a custom audience. You'll always just choose everyone on Facebook, because basically over here on the left-hand side, it's just going to throw you over there into just a different section. Click everyone on Facebook. And a quick overview is the dark blue color is your new audience that we're going to create together here in a second. And the gray, or the translucent gray, is people that are on Facebook. So all of Facebook together. Our new audience compared to all of Facebook. First thing I'll do is I'll go to Custom Audience. I'll give it a name. I'm not being creative. I'm just going to name it Hello Jessica Test. The next place is the United States. If you don't put anything in there, that's A-okay. It's just going to default to your default country. So if you're in the United States, that's what it will default to. But you can add other countries. You could add Australia if you wanted. But for today, I'm just going to leave it at, I'm going to just leave it at United States. Here you can play with age and gender. I'm going to choose people that are 30 to 60, and both men and women. And as you can tell over here, numbers are starting to change. Remember, our new audience, the Hello Jessica, is the dark blue. Now, interests, just very similarly to what you do over in Power Editor, you will do over here. So a lot of times you will put in a name of a leader that you want to follow or that you want to be able to get your ads in front of. For me, I know that I'm into Kim Garst of Social Boom. Mentioned her earlier. There she is. I said that I liked Frank Kern. There's that. There's other things in here as well. You can go into family and relationships. You can say that people are interested in marriage. You could go in there and you could do some sports, and you can pull down that. Football is popular right now, but let's go with skiing because the skiing season's coming up. Connections, I usually don't necessarily do that, but those are going to be pages that you are connected to in terms of being a Facebook admin on. You can't just connect with any page and say, only put this ad in front of people who like a page that you're not an admin on. It has to be a page that you're an admin on, or people that are not connected to whatever page you're not an admin on. I don't necessarily always play with that one. Next one is the advanced, which I like to play in quite a bit. This play, go through all of these, but I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, all right, work. What do the people that I want to get in front of do? They're nurses. So we pick nurses. What is their financial amount? If you have a high-end product that is geared towards nurses, you may not want to do the $30,000 to $40,000 range, maybe a lower end product that you are trying to sell, or maybe that it's free. You can select whichever one that you want to target. If for whatever reason it doesn't matter, that's not part of what you're trying to target, just leave it blank and then all income levels will be there. Home, you can say, what are they, single family, multifamily? Segment the audience. Is there children in the home? Are they grandparents? Maybe you're trying to get in front of the Hispanic community. Are they parents? Let's see. Politics, if you want to go there. Life events. Maybe they are in a long distance relationship. Things like that. There is no rhyme or reason to the things that I selected, but I just wanted to show you so that some of this could come up and we had something to look at. One of the things, what we can tell from our analytics or insights is that most of the folks are lavish lifestylers. You can hover a little eye here. Lavish, and I think it's kind of funny. Lavish lifestyles contain established couples with teenage kids, minivans, and mortgages. Luckily, with a rank of fifth in the country, they have the high income to support them. So they're a great bunch of people to be in front of. Dynamic duos. Dynamic duos are upper middle class income couples with no kids. They are well educated and they're well compensated. They are homeowners in mostly upscale neighborhoods. Countryways, toys and tots, shooting stars. So, you can have a little bit of fun with these. You can sort them highest to lowest that is their behavioral lifestyle. You can scroll further down. You can see their relationship status. Most of them are married. 75% of them over the overall Facebook communities or Facebook world. Education level, most of them are college level. Job title, because we put nurses in, but nurses, health and medical, they're probably hand in hand. Government employees, education library, so on and so forth. So you can start to see what everybody is doing. So let's see. Remember that the dark blue is our custom audience compared to everybody on Facebook. Scrolling back up, there are 6 tabs up here at the top. The next one I'm going to go to is page likes. Now I am going to go down here and uncheck the 75, 100, because it kind of reduces, and I really want to see where these nurses are hanging out so that I can try to emulate some of the messaging that they are connected with. I see here that they like Nurses Rock, nurses groups. They love the magazine American Journal of Nursing. Communities, the funny nurses again. I am a nurse. Health and wellness, I support nurses, so on and so forth. Down here, it shows you all of the pages that they like and the relevance. So Nurses Rock, a lot of the nurses that we're possibly going to be targeting love Nurses Rock. So I'm going to click on this. This isn't adding them to anything. I'm simply clicking on this. And now I'm going to like this page because I didn't know before that they were into this. I will then scroll through, see what type of activity is going on here. This one right here, A Patient to Remember, has 338 likes and 46 shares. This is all organic. People dig this page. They love it. And we can tell that they're into that meaning network, that they are nurses that want to be remembered. That can be a great pain point for you to target with your Facebook ads. Let's go back to the insights. Mighty Nurses is another one. You click on that. They don't have as much organic energy as Nurses Rock, but they still have a huge, huge, huge following. And you can just kind of scroll through, see what's popular, like this one. To anyone who cares for patients or for those who loved ones, you face the end. This video is tragic but true. You know, that's really powerful for them. So we have 65 people that like it and 47 shares, and we have a lot of comments. So that's great. We want to watch this and see what they're doing, what messages that they're sharing with their community so that they're getting those likes. Let's see here. Ackadoodle. I don't know what Ackadoodle is. That was a app that they download, I guess. And I don't know what it is, but from what I can gather, it's medical tutorials of some sort. So that's really cool. I can see how maybe if you had some type of tool, this would be a great audience to get in front of, because you're talking to nurses, and if they like Ackadoodle, they're learning about cardiac electrical activity. You know, so it's very, very powerful. Look at this first post here. Normal ECG. They have 1,804 people like this, 2,542 shares. That's amazing. And 55 comments. That's awesome. Just fantastic. Next, I want to go up to location. Going back really quick, you can play with this now. If I change this off of here and just say women, it changes. If I said men, all of a sudden there's no information. But women, things change. All things change. But now back up here to location. Location, we're showing that a bunch of them are in Panama City, Florida. Maybe you want to produce an ad that directly to Panama, Florida. that's up to you. Activity, this is an interesting place. This actually shows you the frequency of activity. These folks are big time commenters, post likers. They like to share. They don't really redeem promotions from what this is showing. But they are big ad clickers, so they do click on ads comparative to the rest of Facebook. Right here we have device users. A lot of them are desktop and mobile, of course, and a good percentage of them are on iPad. So I wonder, since they are nurses, if on their breaks they have their iPad and they're going and they're scrolling through Facebook. I mean, that's a possibility. And then mobile web is another huge one, which is pretty standard across the board. It seems that they're right on with the rest of Facebook. Go back up here. Now we can look at the household. What are these folks doing? They are primarily those that make 50 to 75,000. They are mostly owners of their home. They don't rent. There's, let's see, one or more, so they're single maybe, two or more, three or more. Home market value, how much their home is worth. This is kind of where some of that third-party stuff comes in and what Facebook taps into. Their spending methods, you can play with this. They buy things with their bank card. Interesting information. I'm not sure how valuable that part is for you, but it might be. Other part is the purchases. They're big, let's see, big retail shoppers. They do some online purchases. And when they do buy stuff, they are buying food and drink, subscription services. So that's great if something that you have is a membership site. Clothing, I bet you they're buying lots of scrubs. So that's great. This one is kind of funny. Are they in the market for a vehicle? And this kind of shows what they drive. So maybe in one of your ads, you have a full-sized SUV with a nurse in there, thumbs up or whatever it might be. You can dial down. And again, you can just kind of play with these. You can save this audience. If you wanted to look at it again. I don't necessarily suggest that you create the ad with this. There's this right here, says create ad, because it's going to bring in all of this data, and you're not really going to be able to dial down on the information that you solely want to focus on. For instance, if you wanted to focus on the page likes. All right, I want to go and do some research on the American Nurses Society. Make sure I like them, follow what's going on, what is a hot topic, what is a pain point that maybe I could touch on, things like that. But when you are ready, I'm going to close some of these down. We're going to go back out, and we're going to go back to our ad managers. I have two screens, and so what I'll usually do is I'll leave my Power Editor on one, and then leave my Facebook Audience Insights on the other. And I'll go in and I'll create my new ad set, create new, create new, create new, and then I'll create an ad. I'm not going to go through with this. You guys have done this plenty of times. And you'll set your budget or whatever that is, and you're going to go in ad sets. You're going to go to the edit audience. Then here is where you can start to dial in. You'll start to dial in on some of the information that we learned from over here. We're going to do 30. And when we're over in Audience Insights, maybe we found that we really want to dial this down and we just want to do a 10-year span or something like that. You know what I mean? Still, Mighty Nurse and Nurses Rock really come up, but some of this other activity could change. And then you can kind of gauge it down, dial it in, hone it down, and really start to make this potential reach number go down. We want to find a happy median between narrow and too broad. We want to get in front of the right people. And those interests and those people that we were talking about, Kim Garst. But now we want to do nurses. Nurses, funny nurses, that was over here in audience insights. Right here was number 3. I didn't know last time that was a community that I would probably want to tap into. Now it's taken it down some, which is good. We're narrowing it down. Let's see, nurses.com I think was on there. I think. Let me see. Nurses.com. No. Oh yeah, it is right there. Let's see what else is over there. Mighty Nurse. That one's the most popular. For whatever reason, it's the most popular, but it's not in interest. This is an anomaly that a lot of us in the social world isn't sure why some big hitting names are not on here. But when you come across that, you just work around it and you go with the flow and you deal with what's in front of you. Let's see if that Appadoodle, whatever it was called. What was that? I closed it. It's not up there anymore. But anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to use this to get in front of the people that you are wanting to target your ads from. We're getting to know our niche market. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. And furthermore, when we're dealing with all of this, we want to keep in mind that we need to pay attention to what our creative is. Make sure that we're not competing with, let's go back just a second. Remember, on Facebook, you're competing with a lot of visually appealing content. I was saying earlier, people are looking at their family, their friends, things that touch their hearts or their nerves. So you need to find a way to disrupt them so that they see yours and that they're moved enough that they want to click that ad and sign up or download or connect, however it might be. You will need to find a way to disrupt them, and that kind of goes back to the creative part of things. And also, we had talked about split testing before as well. Don't be afraid to split test these audiences either. One audience might perform better than the other, or maybe it did dial down to whatever your headline was, or maybe it was your landing page. Whatever it might be, you should be split testing. And to also keep in mind, don't do multiple things at the same time. Don't change the image and the headline. Do one thing at a time. And that pretty much covers what I wanted to. I do want to say, just keep swimming, guys. It is a crazy, crazy world, Facebook world out there. It's constantly changing. 2 years ago, it wasn't necessarily a pay-to-play environment. That if you posted something, you knew that it was just going to be on your Facebook business page, that it would just show up in the feed. But now it's a pay-to-play environment unless you're using organic methods, which we won't even get into that today. But things to remember, it takes time. It doesn't happen right away, especially if you're new to this. Hone in on your niche market as much as possible. Definitely, again, I can't stress it enough. If you have not done your brand strategy worksheet, do it. Use Facebook audience insights to help you. Stay patient and open to changing things up. And, I say try split testing, try split testing, try split testing. This is so important, but again, don't do everything at the same time. Test it enough with images. Okay, it's not the images. Check it with the headlines. It's not the headlines. Bam, it's the target audience. You knew that was your problem all along, or any variation of those. And remember, when you can get it right and one of your ads really starts to work, invest money into your ads. Throw money at them because it will pay off. And lastly, ask for help. Delegate if you need to. It doesn't hurt to ask for help. Definitely use the community that Diane has built for everybody. Reach out if you're not a creative person and doing the creative portion of it. Go off to fiverr.com or try it yourself using a tool like Canva, because they kind of have a lot of templates that you can use. Ask for help, delegate it if you need it. And just remember, like, it is going to take time. And if you have any questions or comments or anything of the nature, please feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to answer any of your questions. And that is all. Have a great day.